Mrs. Stein with feigned concern, completely ignoring her adversary's not particularly veiled insinuation. She and mathematics had never gotten along, and the fact was so well known that it was no surprise when it was remarked upon. But where one's natural abilities couldn't take one, one's stubbornness often could. And when it came to stubbornness, Jessica Stein was entirely without equal in the world. "My memory is in excellent health, as you know very well," said Jackie glacially. "So just admit that you've lost, then," the other retorted, "for the second day in a row." Mrs. Berger turned to the player sitting in front of her. "Addison, dear, did I by any chance lose yesterday?" she asked her sweetly, seemingly perfectly composed. The question, uttered with such innocence, was, however, accompanied by a glare that only the most naive fool could have missed. And a naive fool Mrs. McLean was certainly not. "I don't think you did," answered Addison McLean vaguely, pretending to cast her mind back. It was no coincidence that she was a politician's wife. Deny everything and never remember anything. Those were the rules. "There you go. I didn't lose yesterday," exclaimed Jackie confidently, determined to get back to the game. She had already wasted enough precious time responding to Jessica Stein. But Jessica Stein was not one to be so easily shut up. "Oh, yes, you did," she hissed irritably, realizing that she had been outmaneuvered. "You lost. You damn well lost. Nobody here seems to remember that, though, do they?" said Jackie calmly, picking up the deck of cards and shuffling it. Seeing that she had lost the chance to tease her opponent further, Jessica decided to take desperate measures. "Well, with all this bad luck you're having at the game, it must mean that you've finally been lucky in love." Jackie raised her eyes to the sky. "Oh, Jess, don't talk such rot. I've been a widow for over 10 years, she answered, genuinely annoyed now. In their case, bringing up such private matters in public meant really having hit rock bottom. "Exactly! 10 years! Aren't you sick of not having anyone to take you out to dinner or to the movies?" "What, you mean Judge Stein takes you to the movies?" asked Jackie, genuinely surprised. The old miser didn't seem the type to do anything enjoyable, and she suspected that he'd chosen to become a judge simply because it allowed him to be mean to other people. He wallowed about in other people's misery like an eel, the sadist. "Of course not. He's a judge. Judges don't waste their time going to the movies," replied Jessica, shocked by her neighbor's ignorance. "Well, lawyers do, thank heavens, and so, unlike you, I do go to the movies," exclaimed Jackie proudly. "Plenty, with my granddaughter." "Who? Amalia?" exclaimed a shocked Mrs. Stein, blinking in surprise. "Do I have another granddaughter that I don't know about?" Jackie asked, as though talking to a child. But her opponent took no notice of the sarcastic tone of her question. "So she's still single, then?" she asked quietly, but with a look that spoke volumes. "Still single," Jackie was forced to admit reluctantly as she shifted nervously in her chair. "So it didn't work out with that young man that you introduced her to?" interjected Addison, who would have considered it practically an offense not to take an active part in the gossiping. Not coincidentally, she was widely considered among her friends to be the queen of tittle-tattle. In fact, the only one who didn't seem interested in their chatter was Mrs. Watts, who was sitting to the right of Jackie.